Hello guys and welcome back to another video. If you're new around here, then my name is London Hustle, and as you might have seen in today's title, I'm going to talk you through my setup on the helmet, how I capture all my video and the audio. It's one of the most common questions I get, and I do believe I've got one of the best audio and camera setups going, so I'm going to talk you through it. It's so simple, and would you believe me if I told you all you need are these three things right here. Now this setup I'm currently using has took me years of trial and error to get to this point. I have gone through countless microphones, cameras, different types of setups on the helmet, different ways of mounting the camera. This really is the best in my opinion. So my camera of choice is the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro. Well, we've got a lot of traffic here. I'm filming this video at 8 o'clock on a Monday morning here in London, so got a lot of people on their way to work and doing the school run, which is why I love owning a bike, because I can just get down the side of all of it exactly like this. Now there's a few reasons I like this camera over other action cameras. One of the biggest sellers for me was the battery life. On one single battery you can film up to 4 consecutive hours. Now I don't film consecutively, I turn the camera on and off when I need to, when I'm going to talk to the camera, when something interesting is happening on the road. So I can actually be out for longer than 4 hours and not have to change my battery, which for me is really useful because I come out and film long delivery shifts. I'm out for sometimes 12 hours at a time, sometimes I do 24-hour shifts as well, so being able to bring minimal batteries with me just takes a bit of weight off and makes things a little bit easier. And what a big difference that has made from my last action camera. My last action camera I was getting maybe 1 hour if I was lucky out of the batteries. If it was winter time I'd get even less because they were terrible in cold weather. These DJI batteries, they don't have any issues in the cold weather. Also, while we're on the topic of the battery, changing a battery on these is so much easier because of the magnetic mount system they have. You can take your camera on and off of your helmet or your mounting points very easily, which makes not only changing angles of shots easier, which just means I can snap it off in a second's notice, switch out the battery and snap it back on. I used to have to fiddle around with those like thumb screws on my helmet, take a camera off, take my gloves off, insert the battery, then I'd have to try and line it back up, fiddle around with it. Sometimes it'd be really difficult with the helmet on, so I'd have to take my helmet off. In the winter that was so annoying, so being able to just magnetically take it on and off and keep my helmet on, to me that just makes so much sense. I also love the image quality on this camera. You can shoot up to 4K at 120 frames per second, which means you get very clear and stable shots. It also has inbuilt stabilization, which means your shots are very steady. There's not really much jittering about if you're going over bumps and things in the road, or you're twisting and turning a lot, which on a bike is pretty much every single day. And this camera has a really big sensor, so if you're shooting in the evenings when there's not much light about, the camera's actually still going to pick things up. You're going to be able to see things, which I really struggled with in the past. If you go back and watch some of my older videos when I was using an older action camera, anything I shot at night, you could barely see anything on the screen. It was super annoying. Now I don't really have to worry too much about that. I know if I'm going to be out at night, I can put on the night mode on this camera and it's going to capture things that I'm seeing. And talking about capturing things, you can actually pre-record up to 5 minutes on this camera, which as a content creator is extremely useful. So many times I'm on the road and my camera's off and things happen, like see that car there, he could have just pulled out, and if I wasn't recording I wouldn't have had that on camera. I don't actually have it set to 5 minutes, I have mine set to a minute pre-recorded, so if something happens I can just press the camera and I know that I've still captured what's just happened. We're just coming up to Abbey Road Studios right now. This is the famous crosswalk where people like to get the photos where the Beatles got their album cover, so it's usually quite busy. Like I said, it's early today though, so not too busy right now. I also really like having the front screen on these cameras. It means whenever I mount it on like my handlebars for example, or somewhere else on the bike, or I'm aiming it towards myself, I can make sure I'm exactly in the center of the frame. Right, that's enough waffling about sort of the specs and details of the camera. I know a lot of you are really interested to know, how do I mount the camera on my helmet and how do I capture my audio? Wow, what a great question, London Hustle. And here it is. This is the secret to my setup. It's not that much of a secret because I'm about to tell all of you right now. So as mentioned, I use the DJI Action Osmo 5 Pro. That's my camera mounted right on the front of my helmet, and I attach it with the DJI chin clip. So, yep. How easy is that, guys? I'm laughing because, oh my god, I've been on a journey figuring out ways to mount cameras to helmets and make it work, and DJI come along and create this, and it's just so easy. A lot of you might be worried like, oh, is that not going to fall off? Is it not going to fly off your helmet? Well, if we take a closer look, you actually need a lot of force to open the clip. Very strong springs inside, And you might be able to see all these little teeth here on both parts of this clip. They're almost like a rubberized texture. They create a lot of friction and grip between the helmet and the clamp itself. I've been up to 60 miles an hour on this bike and had no issues with this. I've seen people using this on super bikes as well, and they've also said they've had no issues. It's quite stealthy. It kind of blends in, especially if you get it in the color that matches your helmet. I really love the versatility that this setup offers. I know some people have a summer helmet, some people have a winter helmet, some people just have lots of different helmets because they like collecting them, they like the different looks. So a setup like this means that you can just switch it onto each different helmet so easily. And the way to get the camera on the clip is through this little mount here. So on the bottom of the camera, you've got two little slots here. There's like magnetic points inside, and then there's also the opposite magnets down here. So all you do is line them up, kind of push them together. They'll click into place, and that's it. And just to show you how confident I am in the strength of this, I can literally lift my helmet up by just the camera itself. That is not going anywhere. Oh, I almost forgot as well, before I go on to how I capture my audio, I thought I'd show you this. This is a little case. So right now the camera's in the horizontal position. This is great for filming YouTube videos, but if you're someone who wants to film short videos for like Instagram Reels, TikTok, or even YouTube Shorts, you can just slot your camera into this case here. And now you've got the magnetic point on both this side and the bottom, which means you can mount your camera upright. And you can now capture in a vertical position, which is perfect for Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. And it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? You can't deny how cool that looks. I just love, like, I know it's specific to my helmet, but I've got a black helmet with red accents, and then the camera also matches that. I think that looks so stylish. To capture my audio, I'm using the DJI Mic 2 transmitter. This has made making content for me so much more enjoyable. I have gone through so many different mic setups. I used to use wired lav mics and tape them to my chest. I used to then tape them inside my helmet and run the wire through to the camera, which just caused a whole heap of issues, especially when it rained and the water would get on the connections. It would mess up the whole audio for the video. I then tried some other wireless mics that kind of kept glitching out, and then DJI came out with this magical bit of kit called the DJI Mic 2 transmitter. Because it's made by DJI, it connects seamlessly to the camera. They work hand in hand together and just capture perfect audio. Not to mention there's a magnetic mount on the back, so all I have to do is stick a magnet inside my helmet using a 3M strip, and I can just magnetically attach my mic inside my helmet, and then when I want to take it off, I just pull it off. So I can put my mic inside different helmets. I can clip it onto my body if I want to take some different shots filming myself, which is great because if I want to film from a different angle, all I have to do is take my camera off nice and easy. I can flip the camera around. You guys can still hear me because my mic is inside and it's Bluetooth. I can put the camera kind of anywhere and still get that crystal clear audio. It just means you can get a bit more creative with your shots and your audio. Also, the bike I'm using is electric, so it's not really the best example to show you, but some people who have really nice sounding bikes, what you can do is you can actually attach the microphone close to sort of your engine or your exhaust, and you can capture the audio from that if you want to play it in your videos as well. So really useful. The mic has got such a long battery life as well, so I don't really have to worry about it dying when I'm out on the shift. I also like to use the wind muff that the mic comes with. Being on a bike, you get a lot of wind noise. It does help mounting it inside the helmet, but it doesn't eliminate everything. So just using that wind muff helps make that audio nice and clear. And there you go, guys. Now you know my setup. I wish I knew this from the start. I have gone through so many hours of trials and tribulations to get to this point. I hope you learned something in this video. I hope it was useful. If it was, be sure to drop a like down below. If you have any suggestions as well, maybe you think there's things I could improve. I know DJI have brought out the Mic 2 Mini, which is actually a smaller microphone and allows for more noise reduction. So we might try that out in the future. If you do want to get this set up for yourself, I'll leave all the links to the products in the description down below. And like always, thank you for watching.